G'day there, Jess here, and tonight I'm gonna hang out with you and talk a little bit about some skincare products. I've got a whole bunch of products from The Ordinary that I'm going to look at with you and talk about what's in them and what they do, show you what it looks like, and talk about my own experience with these products. And the reason I have them is because recently I had my third skin cancer. Now I live here in Australia, in Queensland, the Sunshine State. And I had my first skin cancer when I was 20. Now I'm in my 40s, and although I've been pretty good since then about sunscreen and sun protection, I haven't been perfect. And so I decided to do some more research about how to take better care of my skin. I just wanted to briefly mention, if you are from skincare YouTube and you found this video, this is an ASMR style video, so I'm going to be speaking very quietly and softly and slowly. And I'm going to be tapping on some boxes and playing with some products and making noise and sounds with them. So the point of this video, you could certainly learn from it, but the main point is relaxation. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I have all of these, the bottles and the boxes that they came in with all the ingredients and so on. And I'm going to take you through them and give you my review one by one. Now, the reason I have a lot of Ordinary products is because they are super affordable and simple, and I figured it was best to start simply. So let's have a look. Let's start with this one, because it's the only one that's not actually a glass jar. So my main goal with my own skincare is to fight the damage that the sun has done, prevent any further damage, and kind of reduce / reverse the signs of that damage. So this one is The Ordinary Vitamin C Suspension 23% plus HA Spheres 2%. And this is my vitamin C. Now, the point of a vitamin C is to put it on in the morning before your sunscreen, and it's meant to protect your skin somewhat in conjunction with your sunscreen from sun damage. And it also helps to reduce darkening or hyperpigmentation on the skin. So this is a water-free, silicone-free, stable suspension, and it comes in this little tube because it is a cream, sort of. Well, it's a suspension. So you put some out, like that, and rub it in. Now, I was not a fan of this when I first got it, I have to say. It felt kind of rough on my skin, and it stung a little as well when I put it on. And I'm still not the hugest fan. I'm going to try another vitamin C product from someone other than The Ordinary, the Timeless Vitamin C. But I realized I was putting too much on because I'm a noob with this stuff. And I was putting too much on, and I think that's part of why it stung. So the past few times I've used this, I have put less on, and it seems better. Still a little bit rough. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but it's okay. I don't know that I'll repurchase it if I find another vitamin C that I like more than this one, but time will tell. Okay, so that's the first one. What's next? No, let's go with this one. And let me find the box as well. Problem is all the boxes look exactly the same. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. High strength vitamin and mineral blemish formula. So this is the next big hitter, active in my routine. So niacinamide is a form of vitamin B3, and I'm actually also taking B3 as an internal supplement. My doctor actually told me to do that because there is research that shows that vitamin B3 actually reduces your chances of getting skin cancer if you are prone to them, like I am. So, what's in this one? They have all the ingredients in French and English. It's not too much. There is xanthan gum and Tamarindus indicus seed gum, which is going to become important in a minute when I talk about how this product is. The idea behind this one is that you use it to fight blemishes and damage in the skin, discoloration, like hyperpigmentation, it minimizes pores or the appearance of pores, So this is a must-have for me. And it's quite a nice thick serum. Now this one is a bit funny because I find if I put it on first, sometimes it pills up a little bit. So that's where you're putting on a skincare product and these little kind of little things appear on your skin, and it's not your skin, it's actually the product like balling up on the surface of your skin and not actually being absorbed. So I think from the research I've done that the reason why that happens with this one sometimes is the gums in it. But if I put this on top of something else, like my vitamin C, or on at the same time as hyaluronic acid or moisturizing gel or something, then it's fine. So I've actually already ordered another bottle of this because I'm like halfway through it already, because I use this morning and night. So I'll get through the other bottle, and if it's still giving me grief, I'll try a different brand. But I mean, this is like less than $10 and it does the job. I just have to be a bit careful. Again, making sure not to put too much on. That's definitely a big mistake I made in the beginning. It's just like slathering this stuff on my face rather than sort of taking just a few drops and, smoothing it out. It says apply to entire face in morning and evening before heavier creams. If irritation occurs, cease use and consult a physician. Use only as directed on unbroken skin. And they all say how they recommend patch testing as well. So this is, apart from the occasional pilling issue, I've really liked this product, and I will definitely continue to use some form of niacinamide forever, I think. Okay, what's next? Well, it kind of goes with this, so let's do the hyaluronic acid. So this is in the hydrators and oils section. The other two, it doesn't say on the niacinamide, it doesn't have like a little subtitle. But this is hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5, a hydration support formula with ultra pure vegan hyaluronic acid. Now, hyaluronic acid works as a hydrator for the skin, but you must put a moisturizer over the top of it or you risk actually drying out your skin. I'll explain. So, how this works is basically it holds, I think it's like up to 100 times its weight in water or something like that. So when you put it on and in your skin, it holds water in the top layer of your skin, which makes your skin look smoother and plumper. And what it does is it supposedly draws water in from the outside, but it can also draw water out from the deeper layers of your skin if there's no water in the environment for it to hold on to. So that's how it can actually dry out your skin, and why you need to use a moisturizer with it. So again, it's quite viscous fluid. I generally put this and the niacinamide on basically together. I actually mixed them in my hand this morning before I put them on, because I didn't put vitamin C on this morning because it was very rainy and overcast, and I did not plan on going outside at all, and I didn't. So I just had the niacinamide and the hyaluronic acid before I put my sunscreen, moisturizer and sunscreen on. So I really like this one. It feels really lovely on your skin. It's really kind of smoothing and soothing. I haven't had any negative issues with this at all, like no weird peeling or discomfort. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I don't wear it all the time, just when I feel like I want a little bit more plumpness and hydration to my skin. And I do have a lightweight moisturizer with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid in it that I can either use when I'm feeling lazy, or if I'm traveling I can just take that instead of these. But the percentage is nowhere near as high in that, so I pretty much always use these in the morning after my vitamin C. Now, there's some discussion in the skincare community about vitamin C and niacinamide and whether you should use them together or not, but I come down on the side of meh. It seems okay these days, so I'm just going to roll with that. Okay. Oh, just a side note. It's the middle of summer here right now. You may be able to hear the cicadas outside. And also, in case you're interested, I have nothing on my skin right now. It's clean. The only thing I have on my face is some lip balm. That's it. I don't have any makeup on or any skincare on at all. And this is just my face, how it looks normally. Obviously with good lighting. Okay, let's move on to the next product. The next thing is the last clear one. So we're just colour coordinating here. The next one will be slightly less clear, and then the last three are in, well, actually the last two, because one of them's a really old one that I don't really use anymore, but they're in coloured bottles. Okay, so this is the Argireline solution 10%, which targets the appearance of dynamic facial lines. Where's my box for this? There we go. So it says lightweight serum with 10% Argireline or Argireline, however you say it, peptide complex. So this is a peptide. Peptides are kind of different sorts of actives. And this says apply a few drops on the forehead and around the eyes twice daily before heavier treatments. Now, I've heard this described as Botox in a bottle. Basically, the idea is that while you're using it, it sort of tightens up the skin and reduces the intensity of deep dynamic lines. So the 11s here and the wrinkles on your forehead and the smile lines here and here. Basically, wherever you put it, it sort of tightens things up a little, but only while you're using it. It doesn't have any long-term effects. I just thought I'd get it and try it because I am actually waiting on the Ordinary's buffet. I think it's buffet because it's like a combo of peptides. I think it has some Argireline in it, but that's like more of a broader peptide. But I thought I'd get this and try it and see if it works at all. I've only tried it twice, I think. I've only had it a few days, and it definitely does something. Like, you put it on and it feels a little, I'm not sure exactly what it does. Like, does it just tighten the skin, or does it actually sink in and do anything to the muscle underneath? I don't really see how that's possible, but yeah, it's fun. It was a little bit of fun, this one, because I do have dynamic lines. I have thin skin and I have a very expressive face, so I thought it would be something fun to try. The jury's still out on this one as to whether I'm going to use it long term or not. Now, this is a much more watery solution. Than the other ones. Now my hand's going to feel weird. Just wipe my finger off down here. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure about this one, but we'll see what happens. There's something interesting, but not a core part of my routine by any means. Okay, so I've got 3 more left. Let's go on to the acids now. Now, I talked about hyaluronic acid earlier, but it's not a exfoliating acid. It's a different sort of acid. So these two, let's turn that around so you get the glass. Yeah, that's nice. These two are exfoliating acids. So apparently, I have learnt that especially for someone like me who's getting a little bit older and their skin is getting a little bit less elastic and whatnot, that sort of manual exfoliants like the good old St. Ives peach scrub, which I will admit I've used most of my adult life, although very occasionally, like one bottle would last me like 5 years, which is probably kind of gross, but it was fine. I didn't use it very often. I've always had pretty good skin, so like I never had acne as a teenager. I just get the occasional spot here, hormonal spot here and there. So I never really did too much to my skin apart from put sunscreen on and washed it in the evening, and occasionally some moisturizer in winter when it got dry. But I've been learning, and these, as I said, are both acids. Now, they are exfoliating acids, and the idea behind these, that one's just got some stuff on it, I need to wipe it off, is that they chemically exfoliate your skin. So this one is a lactic acid, which is a AHA, I think. I can never remember which one's which. I think this is a BHA and the salicylic acid is an AHA, or is it the other way around? Do they say on the bottle thingy? Jiggy. Lactic acid, high strength. AHA, okay. acid is an AHA and the salicylic acid is a BHA. So they do different things. So this is the lactic acid 10% plus hyaluronic acid or HA. A high strength lactic acid superficial peeling formulation. So there's a bunch of AHAs. There's glycolic acid, lactic acid, there's another one starting with M. Can't remember what that is. So this is kind of the second one down. And the idea behind this one is that it helps to exfoliate the dead skin cells off the surface of your skin. By loosening up those dead skin cells. Now, it's quite watery again, it's not too bad, it's got a little bit of thickness to it. And with this one, I found it quite good. I definitely get a little bit of tingling, which is kind of normal. A little bit of redness when I first put it on. But this one you leave on overnight. And you put it like under a moisturizer. And over time it helps to strip away those dead skin cells. Now, the key with the acids like this one is you never use these and a retinoid at the same time. And I'm going to get to the retinoids in a minute. But these are a core part of my routine. So everything else I've talked about so far is for the morning or for morning and night. This one is for the evening. This one and the salicylic acid are to be used and put on at night before you go to bed. And you put these on at alternate nights to your retinoid treatment. Because if you use them both at the same time, it can be a bit too intense and possibly damaging on your skin, especially if you're sensitive. You also generally wouldn't use both of these at the same time because they're kind of a higher strength. Sometimes there'll be products that have both in them, but they're lower strength. So this was the 10% lactic acid, and this one is salicylic acid 2% anhydrous solution, formulated for blemish prone skin. So while the lactic acid works to remove the surface dead skin cells, this one, because it's oil based, actually gets into your pores and cleans out your pores. So if you have acne prone skin, then this one is the one that's, I guess, more important because it actually clears out those pores and the oils in there that might be causing the issues. So where's the box for this one? Oh, this is the lactic acid box. Hang on a second. And this is the salicylic acid box. Okay, so now interestingly, the lactic acid says apply once per day, ideally in the PM. Can be diluted with other treatments to reduce strength until skin develops tolerance. Do not use on sensitive, peeling, or compromised skin. Avoid contact with eyes. Whereas this one says, the salicylic acid says, apply in the morning and evening. Apply a small dot to the target area or apply a small amount over the face for general use. Again, do not use on sensitive, peeling or compromised skin and avoid the eye contour and contact with the eyes. So this one, again, I'm only going to be using this in the evening because there's some evidence that using acids can make your skin a little bit more sun sensitive, so maybe not the best thing to use if you're going to be in the sun, and also just fits with my routine to use it in the evening. So this one is quite relatively viscous for a serum. It's quite it feels oily when it goes on your skin. I guess that's the solution that it's in. Let's have a look at ingredients. Squalene. Squalene's an oil. So that's the first ingredient. Yeah, glycol. Oleic, linoleic, polyglycerides. Yeah, so this is in an oil because it's, I guess, oil soluble rather than water soluble, which is the other one, because it's going to go into that oily pores, those oily pores. So I don't love how this feels as much as the lactic acid. It does feel a little bit oily on my skin, so I generally have kind of oily combination-ish skin, I guess. Nobody's ever really assessed me. I'm just kind of guessing there based on how my skin feels. So I don't generally like stuff that feels oily or oils on my skin. I find it uncomfortable, especially in summer. I'm struggling a bit with this whole thing at the moment because when I go to bed at night, I have like a thick moisturizer on because I'm using the acids and the retinoids, and it's quite uncomfortable at night time when you're hot and a bit sweaty still, because it's like 35 degrees. Well, not by that time at night, it's usually a bit cooler, but it's really humid here. It's like the subtropics, so in the middle of summer is monsoon, rain season. So yeah, I think I'll enjoy skincare a little bit more in the winter when it feels a bit more like nourishing rather than just like plastering, stuff on my skin when it already feels kind of sticky and humid. But we shall persist. So I've only used this once. I don't really know if it's going to have any long-term effects, but I think, my plan is to alternate this one with the lactic acid on my acid nights to try to hit sort of both types of exfoliation and clear out my skin. So that's the plan. Okay, let's move on to the very last ingredient I have, which is probably arguably the most important thing that you can add apart from sunscreen to a skincare program, and that is a retinoid. So I actually have a really old one. Years ago, one of my friends, I was talking to her briefly about skincare, and she's like into it, or was into it, still is, but I had no idea. She's like, you should try this stuff, and I'm like, okay. So I bought it, and it's the Ordinary's Granactive Retinoid 2% emulsion, previously advanced retinoid 2%. I actually have old written on here because when I got my new stuff, I didn't want to mix this up with the new ones because I knew I wouldn't remember which was which. So I don't know if this is what it's supposed to look like. I don't remember it ever being any different. It's kind of like a yellowish like solution. I don't know if you can see the colour. Put some on my skin to show you. So I don't know. This is I don't even know how old this is. It's definitely quite a few years old though. So I didn't throw it out because I don't know why I didn't throw it out because I'm not using it. Maybe I knew I was going to do this video, whatever. But I never really used it. I kind of maybe used it once or twice and then totally forgot it existed, and yeah. So when I did my shopping, I actually have a few different retinoids, retinaldehydes, tretinoin to try. I actually got a prescription of tretinoin, which is like the top clinical strength retinoid or yeah, there's this word. There's like different levels of retinoid. There's like retinoid, then retinaldehyde, and then retin-A, like which tretinoin is a brand name, I think. And I was just, when I got my skin cancer cut out, I was talking to my doctor and I'm like, maybe I should try this, and she's like, sure. So she just wrote me a prescription. But all the research I've done has said you need to be careful with retinoids, and you need to take it slowly and start on a lower intensity. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking it slow. So I'm starting with this one, and then I've got a retinaldehyde. I think it's an Avene. Something else. I'm not sure. It's in the bathroom. I just wanted to make this an ordinary video because I had enough ordinary stuff to talk about. And then I have the tretinoin. So I'm going to work my way up to that. So my first stage is this one. This is the ordinary granactive retinoid, 5% in squalene, highly stable water-free solution of 0.5 ester of all-trans retinoic acid. So there's some, I think, discussion as to whether this granactive retinoid is good or not. I don't really know, but it seems okay. So I just thought I'd try it and see what happened. It definitely has an effect. When I put it on, especially the first 2 times, I kind of noticed a little bit of sensation and some redness. And then like the next few days I had a teeny little bit of peeling the first time I used it, but since then I haven't really noticed any problems. And I put this all over like my face, my neck, my chest, backs of my hands. Those are the big 4 areas that you tend to get like sun damage, and I definitely do have sun damage. I actually have a video over on my regular channel where I show you and I talk about all that if you're interested. It's not ASMR, it's just a normal video. I'll put it in the comments if you are interested in checking that out over on my main channel. It's kind of my introduction, newbie. This is my planned video. I'm not a skincare channel, but I do talk about health stuff sometimes, so that kind of fits because to me, skincare is healthcare. It's not kind of something fun and frivolous. There's for me, a really important reason that I'm getting more serious about taking care of my skin. It's to prevent cancer. So yeah. So the idea behind retinoids is they are kind of the most powerful active, and it has 50 years of research proving that it's effective. It fights the signs of aging, so blemishes, dark spots, wrinkles, fine lines, but it also speeds up cell turnover, and to minimize the chances of a mutated cell sticking around in my face, I thought that was a good idea. So that's the main reason why I'm using this. So this one is completely different to the other one. This one is like an oily clear solution, whereas the other one was very viscous. So because again it's in squalene, which is an oil, which is apparently a good skincare product in and of itself. You can actually just buy squalene by itself from The Ordinary. I think it's like moisturizing a little bit, so it kind of buffers the effect of the retinoid, because it can be quite uncomfortable for people. It can make your skin sort of red and peel and stuff like that if you're not careful, or if you have really sensitive skin. So I'm finding this one just fine. I don't love the texture, because I feel like, especially with a retinoid, you have to be really careful where it goes, and you don't want to put it, like, you don't want to get it in your eyes. Because this is quite thin, I find it a little bit tricky to be really precise about where it goes. I'm looking forward to trying like a tretinoin cream or retinoid cream, which I think will be a little bit easier to manipulate. But that being said, I think this is great. Like, I haven't had any issues with it. Another thing about this is actually retinoid and niacinamide specifically, is that the idea behind them is to like reduce sebum production, which is oil production in the skin, and so you don't actually want to get that too close to the rims of your eyes, because you have oil glands, sebaceous glands in your eyes that help you keep your eyes lubricated, and I already suffer from dry eyes, so I'm like pretty careful to try to avoid, like, I want to get it, especially the niacinamide, I want to get it like as close as I can to my eyes, but not so close that it's gonna like affect those glands, those eye sebaceous glands. So it's a fine line, because apparently when you put stuff on your skin it can travel a little bit as well, so you have to be careful about that. So yeah, I'm going to keep using this for a while, and then I'm going to move up to something a little bit stronger, probably in the next month or so. It's been almost a month now that I've been sort of using this stuff consistently, so yeah, I haven't really noticed any downsides, but I've been really slow. I've been basically doing a retinoid one night and then having a break, and then doing an acid, and then doing a retinoid, so it's kind of been a 3-night cycle. That's on my night stuff where all the really strong actives are, and I might sort of narrow that down a bit, where not have a break night, or only have one once a week, and then if my skin handles that fine, I'll probably go up to the next strongest retinoid, the retinaldehyde that I have. So yeah, that concludes my review of The Ordinary skincare, ASMR style. Definitely some products I will keep using in this range. And like I said, I have the buffet coming to try. I may try some more of their products in the future. They're just like, I'm not interested in having ridiculous expensive skincare. I just want stuff that works, and their stuff is so affordable, and it seems by and large pretty good, and I'm happy with what I've been using so far. Like I said, I have a few little niggles with a few things, which mean I might try a different brand in the future, but for now we'll keep using these ones until they run out, and then maybe try something else. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you have any questions, or you enjoyed this style of video, kind of soft-spoken, chatty video, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I might do some future videos like this, so if you did enjoy it, please do tell me, because like I said, I've been buying, a bunch of different skincare things to try. I've got a bunch of sunscreens I'm going to be testing and a bunch of other skincare products, so if you'd like me to do more videos like this, I can do that for sure. And now I'm going to record a little bit of an intro, because I realised at the beginning of this that if skincare YouTube finds me and doesn't know what ASMR is, I'm probably going to get some interesting comments. So I'm going to record a little intro and put that on the front that explains it. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you in the next video.